What up, guys? It's your girl Nina Rock here in Supreme Clientele Radio. So I have my boy with me. Everybody say hi, Carmelo.
What's up? What's up?
So we are back now with another episode of He Said, She Said. Let me show you our cool little logo that we have going on over here. Look at that. Look at that. So for those of you who remember a show in the past that we used to do, me and Carmelo used to come every week, once a month actually, on the third Wednesday of every month, we used to come and do our segment called He Said, She Said. So we decided to continue it here at Supreme Clientele Radio. So yay! Shout out to everybody who's watching us, and don't forget you can also listen to us on Spotify. Thanks for the love, whoever that was. Post the comments, we can go ahead and shout you out. We are here live at Supreme Clientele Radio. Your girl Nina Rock and your boy Carmelo.
What's up? What's up?
So again, guys, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and all those other media platforms as well. After the replay, and of course on supremeclienteleradio.net or .com, whatever our website is. .com. supremeclienteleradio.com. So we are going to have an awesome show for you guys today. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are live here in the studio. So today we are going to talk about red flags.
Relationship red flag.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know what this show is all about, we pretty much talk about all types of relationship issues, dramas, the good, the bad, the ugly, the and everything else that comes in between. And it's my opinion and it's his opinion, and girl, child, you already know. Our opinions be off the chain. Now, for those of you who know me, yeah, I know I'm a little twisted up here in the head, so. But him, he's worse.
No, I'm just no filter. I just keep it 100.
100. All right, so we are going to talk about red flags and how to spot them. Now, what do we mean by red flags?
Well, what do you? Let's take how you see red flags when it comes to a relationship.
Well, red flags to me are something that you should consider before getting into a relationship. Let's just put that out there, number one. But for me, it's things that people should know or should reflect on while they're getting to know someone before they get into a relationship with them. Now, a lot of times we find that people oftentimes ignore those red flags because they want to be, in a relationship, and they want to be committed, and they want somebody to love, and blah, 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 blah. And so some people tend to ignore those red flags just so they can have somebody. But you know what happens when you do that?
You be in a fucked up relationship.
That's correct, because most of those red flags are the reasons that you guys break up or have problems to begin with. Guys, girls, OMG. So we're going to talk about those. What I want you guys to do, for those of you who are watching the Facebook Live, and I really can't see, so I'm squinting and I look high, but I'm really not. It's because I just don't have my glasses on. But I do have them here. So eventually I'll put them on sometime throughout the show. But let us know what you guys consider to be red flags. And as we get older, we tend to pay attention a little bit more to those red flags.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
Definitely, because I'm looking at these right here that says healthy and unhealthy relationships. And I see myself in a couple of these.
In just a couple?
Yeah, most of these here fall under Hispanic culture relationship. The control, right from the beginning. One partner makes all the decisions and tells
Wait,
the other
but
what
we
to
haven't
do.
even talked about what we have on the screen yet, so you can't just jump right in without telling people
that's
what
it.
you got.
Healthy relationships and unhealthy relationships.
So, Carmelo, the nerd that he is, okay?
Hold on, let me see if this shit is going.
The nerd that he is. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're out there, give us some love and put some comments in there so we can go ahead and shout you out. So, Carmelo, being the nerd that he is, he decided to do some research. Now, we've been talking about doing this show again because we used to do it before on a different station. And we decided to bring it back here. And we've been talking about bringing it back for a while now. So this is something that we've been talking about for months. And we have like a ton of topics to bring to you guys every single month, because we're going to do this once a month. So he, being the nerd that he is, he did research.
Yeah, well, you have to. Yeah, definitely. You can't believe everything you read on the internet. So
That's correct.
most of this, I based it on what's out there, what can be cross-referenced, and then what I've personally experienced.
Okay, so let's take a look at the first list that he has up here. So I'm just going to put the screen over here, the camera over here, so you guys can see what he wrote. He put healthy relationships versus unhealthy relationships, and he's got a chart.
So now you want to start off?
No, I want you to read. I want you to read. So, but we're talking about red flags, so we haven't even gotten into the relationship yet.
Okay, well, red flags.
Tell me what would be one of the biggest red flags for you when you consider, and I'm using the term lightly, consider.
Don't say. I know you're not gonna say marriage.
No, hell no, because
okay.
I know. No, I said when you consider
A partner.
being with somebody. What is like one of the major things that is like a huge red flag that causes you to push the brakes on really fast?
I gotta give some thought.
Inquiry's mind. Want to know?
Yeah, I mean, I've dated dancers and all that, so I'm not worried about that area. So needy, I would say.
Clingy.
Not in the sense clingy, because I'm affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
But needy in the sense always needing reassurance.
So insecure women.
Yeah,
let's just put it out there.
Right,
you know I keep
guess
it real.
falls
Your girl
under-
Nina Rock keeps it 100. He can try to sugarcoat, but I'm gonna tell you, insecure bitches.
Yeah, it falls under insecurity. Definitely, that's one, and one that don't take interest.
Okay.
And what the other, because we don't have to just well, for me, if you don't take interest in what I do.
Right, but what do you mean? Because you do a lot of different things.
Well, emotional support.
Emotional support.
Right. If I'm gonna have a mate, I already built what I wanted, the empire that I wanted. So if I'm gonna have someone that I'm gonna spend long term with, I need someone who's gonna contribute emotionally. Basically, have my back. I need to bounce ideas off someone to talk to. So it's just include yourself and show interest in what I'm doing.
Okay, so what do you mean like show interest? Because you can talk to somebody about a lot of things and they can just be like, oh, that's great, that's wonderful, do what you got to do, and this and that, blah 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 blah. How do you really know that they're interested in what you're saying and what you're doing?
Include being a part of it.
Like how? Like do
Okay.
you want them to do research? Like, should they be doing research like this?
Okay, so now
I'm just asking because
so now
I'm not a research type of chick. I'm just like a wing it type of girl.
All right,
I'm
so
just
then
saying.
how would you have contributed? Like if I would have came to you and be like, okay, I'm doing a show and I'm putting some things together about red flags in a relationship.
Well, first of all, I'm very creative, so I'm a jump right. I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. And I'm atrevida, I'm adventurous. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And we figure it out later. That's how I am. You know what I mean? But again, doing something like this, that's something that interests me. So of course I'm gonna jump all in. You know what I'm saying? But let's say it's something that, put it in back to you, it's something that person may not be interested in. They just want to be there for you. What would make a difference for you in wanting to accept that person? Because, okay, I'm going to put it like this. You built the radio station. We built the radio station, right? I told you I wanted to build a radio station. We built it, right? Well, you built it. I said, I'm going to get a Carmelo because he's very smart. So you talking, if you're outside talking to other girls, whatever you're doing, I don't care. It's not my business. We're friends, whatever. Someone who's not into radio, like I'm into radio, so I've been in radio my whole life pretty much. So someone who is not into radio, how do you expect them to react and to be a part of it if it's something that they don't know anything about?
Well, if they don't know anything about it, then they can just say, I guess that they can't help. I'm assuming, that's going to be where I back off then.
Okay, so you would say that's a red flag because they don't know what it is that you're into?
Yeah, because then it starts. Well, I'm saying now, me at this point in my age, you know what I'm saying? Younger maybe doesn't matter. At my age now, if I'm trying to build something, I just need some support.
Right.
Emotional support. I don't need anything else.
Right.
So,
but what would be considered emotional support for you? That's my question. What would be considered emotional support for you?
I just said that.
You didn't say
Bouncing
nothing.
Someone to talk to when I come home at night. I'm going to be up wild hours. I put in 19, 20 hours daily
Okay.
to my businesses easily. And so I don't got time for the lollygagging bullshit on the phone and texting bullshit. I'm busy. I'm trying to get things started because I'm a one-man army.
Right.
So now, emotionally, for you to be there, check in, see if you can bounce ideas off, and then not just on this, just in general, what I was doing throughout the day, have some input, see what's going on, be involved.
Basically, a girl who just does not have any interest in what you're doing would be a red flag for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What else would be a red flag for you?
Smoking.
Okay, you don't like smokers?
No,
I personally don't like
smoke.
smokers neither. I don't like
I never
kissing
smoke
ashtrays.
weed, I don't smoke
So
cigarettes. I never gotten high a day in my life. If that's your preference, it's cool. But smoking is no good for you. You want to catch cancer, do that shit on your own time. Not around me.
So you don't like kissing an ashtray? I'm just asking.
Yeah, no,
Inquirers might want to know.
I don't like. That's definitely a red flag.
Yeah.
And it makes.
Well, for me, it wouldn't be necessarily considered a red flag. It would literally just be a turnoff.
Right.
Because a turnoff and a red flag are two different things.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. I was just about to say that. That's more like a turn off and all that. Red flag will be that I had got written it down here.
Let's see. Pull out your notes.
A red
While
flag
he pulls out his
definitely
notes.
is because, you see, it's funny because, lack of communication and irresponsible and unpredictable.
Okay.
Irresponsible in the sense, it may sound fucked up, but women are like this. Got a fucked up credit score and you're in your 40s.
Hold on, but men also can have some
That's what I'm
fucked up
saying.
credit scores.
That's
So
what I'm
don't just
saying.
put it
Women-
on women. Don't just put it on women.
For women, that's a big thing. They,
Okay.
this guy, he's this, he's that, he's immature, he ain't got nothing. And now, I'm the same way. What are you bringing to the table besides a fat ass?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, credit score, you can
He
always
said
fix.
fat ass.
things.
Yes, he did say fat ass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, fucked up credit score, mismanaging money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're
Paying your bills late,
you're
things
in your
like that.
40s, and
You should got your shit together by
right,
now.
and you're still falling in these holes. I mean, granted, everybody goes through things up and down. Ain't nobody a millionaire. We're not talking
Right.
about, oh shit, your lights went out. Shit
Right,
happens.
right.
But if you're in your 40s, don't got a decent savings, don't know what you're gonna do, can't really make any other moves, and you're still scrambling and don't got your shit together, I see that as a red flag, because if you're 40 and you still don't got your shit together,
Right.
I don't see it changing.
Right.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you never
Because
know. I
in
mean,
your 30s, it start hitting you. When you're 30, you're like, oh shit, hanging out in the corner is really not.
well, you shouldn't be doing that in your 30s. I'm just saying,
You'd be
for me,
surprised.
that would be a major red flag.
Right,
If you're
you'd be
still standing
surprised.
out on the street corner at 30 years old, you got some problems. Get a job. Go do what you got to do. For me, one of the major red flags is living at home with your mama.
Yeah. The feeling the insecure, the controlling behavior, a lot of, I say Hispanic culture falls for that. You know?
Right. But that's more when you're in a relationship. So, like, okay, so let's talk about these things. So you mentioned to me insecurity, someone who doesn't have their things together, like paying bills late, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But now let's say that you were ignoring all these things because Shorty had a fat ass, right? Because a lot of you men do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no,
I'm just saying, a lot of you men do that. Like, Shorty got a fat ass. You start ignoring all these things. Ignoring the fact that, every other week she needs, every other month is her lights. Or every other month she ain't got no food in her house. Or whatever the case is. Blah, 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 right? She didn't pay her rent. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying. And then you still decide to go after her because, like I said, Shorty got a fat ass, right? And now, 6 months, now you get into a relationship with her, 6 months, 7 months, a year down the road, she's still in the same thing.
Yeah, no, well, I don't fall under that. I don't play that. Listen, I can tell you a story. I can use insight for this. I dated a dancer, and I lent her my truck one time to go to work.
Well, see
And
that. First of all, that was your first mistake.
No, well,
but
I was gonna stay in her crib and let her take the truck. I didn't want to go to the strip club that
first
night.
mistake.
So I'm like, yeah, go ahead, and I'm gonna just stay here 2-3 hours. Fucking lights go out.
That's funny as hell, though.
The lights went out. Like I was just dead ass in the dark.
What'd you do? You left?
I stood there. Where the fuck I was gonna go?
How the fuck you just gonna sit there in the dark?
I just stood there. When she came back with the truck, I was like, your lights went out. And she made money, made like $1,200-$1,300 that night. Next day, we wound up going to a mall in Pennsylvania.
But did she pay her
lights?
lights?
No, she didn't. She didn't care. She said, we could just... I lived in Jersey. I had a condo in Jersey. She said, oh, we could do this and that. I was like, listen, dude, I'm going home. You know? So it's... Those are the type of...
Listen, I've fallen into situations, I mean, not recently, where, you know, I'm like struggling. I'm like, oh my God, I got to pay my lights and this. That doesn't make me a fucked up individual. I'm just saying.
Right,
putting myself in that position, you know what I mean?
It's not like she was broke. She
right.
went and made
But
$1,200.
that's
getting your priority. So then that's when you fall into that's what I'm saying. If you don't got your shit together and you're cool with just letting your lights go out, you make the money.
There's a difference. Exactly. There's a difference between having your shit together and knowing your priorities.
Right.
Because to me, that would be another red flag. Someone who ignores their responsibilities and their priorities got all fucked up. You know, for example, making $1,200, not paying your light and going to buy a Gucci bag or whatever, a Louis bag. I'm just saying that's irresponsibility. Well, whatever it is that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Pay your fucking bills. Like the first thing I pay is my mortgage and my light. Everything else and I hustle for. Just saying. You know what I mean?
We're not talking about that everybody has to be millionaires.
Correct.
Money,
correct.
Nobody here millionaires.
But you know what your monthly bills are.
Right.
So do what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to keep up with what you got to keep up with, because at the end of the day, because then you fall into, like, all of this snowballs into just, now you getting dependence.
Right.
Now
So
you getting, I know a lot of women who now get dependent on someone else, and now you can't leave that relationship, whether it's abusive or whatever. Now you feel, where am I gonna go?
Right.
What am I gonna do? Okay, so now I'll just do this. I'll cheat and I'll hold on until I get my shit together.
But now you're going completely off topic. We're not even in the part that you're in a relationship yet. We're still looking at the red flags. So let's go back to
but no one really does relationship anymore. This shit comes all together in once.
So
person is dating, they start living together, going on trips together, and then all this shit comes in one shot.
Right, but a lot of those things could have been avoided if you would have paid attention to the red flags. That's all I'm saying.
But this is common. The dishonesty, the
all
control.
Right, so let's talk
abuse,
about
that's whack.
Let's talk about your list, because so now we've ignored all the red flags, right? And now you're in a quote unquote relationship.
I fall on one of the red flags. You always joke about it.
Wait,
I'm very private.
But that's not
here. It's not even here.
Right.
It was on another list.
Right.
I'm very private.
Right. Well,
I don't post my whole life on social
but you don't
media.
have to post your whole life on anything about
no
that.
No one comes to my house. I don't allow no one to come to my house.
See,
my
that
kids
for
live
me
with me
would be a red flag. Just saying.
For everyone. I had someone ask me recently, this and that, and they're like, hey, eventually I will go to your house, and I'm like, no, eventually you would not. Number one, even if it wasn't, listen, I know how unforgiving the streets can be.
Right.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From experience, I've seen shit that you probably only seen in movies. So no one comes to my house for what? I don't need to entertain. Y'all want to entertain? We go downtown. We're gonna be physical. We definitely not going to my house. My kids live with me. Right,
but at that point, you will never have a healthy relationship if you don't open that door to someone. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you can't use me because I'm not looking.
I know, but I'm just saying in general. General.
Yeah, I know. That's me and my cat to the end.
Exactly. So that for me would be a red flag, because I'm gonna look at something like that and be like, yeah, no, not even considering it. I'm just saying, being completely honest.
So I would have to open. You have to come to my house.
It's not a matter of quote unquote me going to your house. It's a matter of the fact that you opening that door for me. There's a difference, because the fact that you keep it closed and shut off means that you have, and I don't want to say something to hide, but you're trying to keep a whole nother life apart from me. I'm just
Right.
using myself as an example.
Yeah.
And for me, that would be a red flag.
But
Because
that is
for
true.
me,
I'm keeping my relationship away from my relationship with my children.
And
that doesn't
that's,
have to.
But but that's two different things. Because yes, I agree. I don't bring nobody to my house neither when
Right.
it comes to shit like that. You know, but what I'm saying is, for me, I know that eventually I'm going to want to be in a relationship, right? So I know that I'm going to have to eventually open up that door and allow someone in. Do I want to do that? No, they're not. Not saying that they're coming to live with me or hang out with me in my house and this and that. I'm not saying any of that because I don't want nobody in my house like that
Right.
neither. You know what I mean? But I have it open where I'm allowing that person, quote unquote, into a certain extent. I don't want another man living in my house because, like you said, that's my kids live there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm very protective of my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But when it comes down to it, eventually either I'm gonna sell that house, and you and I are gonna get something else. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different. But I know that I'm gonna have to open that up and eventually let a partner in. If I'm not letting a partner in and I'm shutting off any part of my life, we will never have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
a lot of work. My personal opinion on that is, at my age, I don't want to go through all that work. I was in a relationship for 12 years.
Right.
And now I have kids.
But we've talked about that.
And so to try to do all of that all over again, like,
Well,
I explained that to you one night. I was like,
well, here's the thing.
what do I need? Usually when you get in a relationship in your 20s and 30s, you want to build a life with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then me, as a person that I'm, an innovator, and I like creating and always setting goals and doing something and looking for a new venture, I done accomplished all of that alone.
Right.
So what do I need someone else for? Companionship, someone to be in the house, sex. You can get that $40, I heard.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, there's what I look at it. Me, I'm not saying it. I look at it as like, what's the point? I want to build something with someone, but I already do, and I keep doing it alone.
Right, but the point, and like I told you the other night, the point is, yes, you've had a relationship when you were younger, blah 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 blah. We've all had, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But you're not dead right now. You're not dead right now, so why should you be shut out, and why should you not want to, quote unquote, build? And I'm not saying you can build. Look, like I said, you built a radio station. Who's to say that you can't have a girl with you to help you build that station? Not me, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So just because you've already built, quote unquote, your empire, your business and stuff like that, doesn't mean you can't build something else. You know, like I tell you all the time, you can buy real estate, you can build a home with that other person, there's so many things to do, travel, there's so many things you can do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you have to be in a relationship to travel, but what I'm saying is, when you have that commitment, it's just so much better. So and like I said, you shutting it off, you're not dead yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my point on that.
Well, back to the red flags. I'm not getting it on.
He's in the hot seat, and he didn't like it very much.
No, hot seat. I mean,
hey, Alex, thanks for tuning in.
I let it be known, and that's another thing that people should actually
pay attention.
Always do and always do. When you first start talking to somebody and seeing someone, definitely right out the door. I mean, I've always said it. The red flags and everything I've experienced so much because I still am. I'm a side dude. All day. So I've seen the griminess. I've seen what women do. Like I said, people always talk to me about marriage and they'll be like, I love marriage. Because all my bitches are married. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it. These are my homegirls.
You see, and I think that that's part of your issue, is the fact that you've always been that side dude. You know what I'm saying? And you've seen that, so you're more what's the word I'm looking for? Not sheltered, but you're like more.
Nigga,
it's not even cautious. No, it's not. It's not even that. It's not even that. No, it's just like, because you've seen it, you don't want to be that dude on the other side. You would rather be the side dude. You know that you don't got to deal with it, but you're still in the wrong. You're still in the wrong.
What wrong?
You're still in the wrong because you're smashing someone else's wife.
Oh, they would have been on their job. It wouldn't have been a problem.
So if it was your wife, let's just hypothetically speaking.
I've been in a relationship and been cheated on. I know. This is the reason why I'm a savage.
Okay,
Shout out to my baby mother, my oldest daughter's mother.
Hypothetically speaking.
They know.
Now, what would you do? How would you feel about that guy? Would you be mad?
I guess.
I'm asking.
I mean, I was
would you be
mad years ago. Yeah, I was mad.
Would you be mad knowing that this dude is fucking your wife?
But then,
you know what I'm saying?
It takes
Knowing
two.
that
it's not his fault alone.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you can't go blaming yourself because a person's gonna cheat. And they're gonna cheat regardless.
Right.
You could be $1 million.
So then you can't. So you can't use the excuse if he was handling his stuff, because you might feel that you was handling your stuff and you really wasn't, which is what caused her to go do what she got to do.
That goes on. It goes stirred in a pot. It's everything. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, you know, however everything went. But I took that as lessons because no matter what, you can be a good provider. You can be this. You can be that. A person's gonna do what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you definitely play a part.
So now with that relationship, let me ask this question. With that relationship, hey Erica, thanks for watching. Were there any red flags that you were ignoring that then caused you to be like, I knew this was gonna cheat?
My oldest daughter's mother?
Because that's the one you mentioned.
Listen, nigga, that's 90s.
I'm asking.
I knew she was a wild cannon.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why to this day people say things and I'd be like, you know, I would never badmouth her because I laid with her and we have a child together.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, and I did have feelings for her. So I would not sit here and say, oh, she was this, she was that.
Right. No, I don't want you to do that. I'm just asking
She's
because
my daughter's mother, but
you ignored the red flags.
I knew what I was getting into when we were seeing each other. And this is for everyone who's listening. If there are any listeners in Brooklyn.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
We was never in a real relationship. We dated. We were seeing each other. She lived in my house for a few months, and then
I don't need to know the details.
No, and then I went on a little mini vacation for 2 years or whatever, and then that was it. We was never really, and everybody swears like, oh, and I'm like, yo, to tell you the truth, we was just.
So then technically,
technically
she didn't cheat on you, if that was the case.
Right.
So then really doesn't matter. But you still knew what you was getting yourself into when you met her. You knew who she was, you knew what she was about, and you still decided to fuck with that, fuck with her. And so everything that happened, you could say, well, I knew she was going to do this.
And not only that, we were separated for a very long time, and when I came home, she wanted to have a child, and I was like, okay.
Right.
So that's why when people say, I'm like, yo, listen, all of those, I see it all the time on social media, oh, men ain't shit, or women ain't shit, or your ex this, your ex that. That, to me, is immature and childish. I have no enemies in none of my exes. I can call any one of my exes now, and hey, how you doing? I'm coming to New York, I'm going here, I'm going there, and chill. I really don't understand how people be like, oh yeah, I see them, fuck them, they dead, or there's a bird. I'm like, okay, well, he was a bird, you fucking a bird.
Well, all my exes love to get me back, so it's...
You know what I'm saying? It's not even the point of the game. I'm saying
kidding,
it's still, like, we're still friends.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be an adult. You have to be an adult. You no longer physical, or you no longer spend time in one manner. That doesn't mean that now you're enemies.
Right.
Because if it's like that, then you won't be able to walk the street. Half the population will be not talking to each other, especially in Bushwick. You know, and
Erica's laughing.
You know,
she's like, LOL.
So I don't see how people are always bad mouthing their exes. I'm like, that was your partner at one time.
You chose him, exactly.
Yeah, so,
you chose him.
He ain't shit, this and that, and you chose to have a kid with him. You making yourself look bad.
You chose him, and you knew all of that going in, and you still did it. So that's why you have your unhealthy relationship right now. So let's talk about this.
But this is
let's talk about it.
General, because the best.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hold on, but the best thing for a person.
Erica said that you're right. By the way.
Thank you, Erica. The best thing for a person to
don't encourage him, Erica.
The best thing for a person to do is, I wouldn't do it because that's too much work. You know what I'm saying? But get a piece of paper and make a list of your past relationships and what's similar to see if you fall into a pattern.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And who you choose, and do you want to change that?
Right.
Or is something that you want to, because
Well,
you gotta even it out.
I think in that situation, you really have to know yourself and who you are before you're able to choose the right partner.
Right. Yeah, I mentioned
You
that.
know what
I
I'm
put
saying?
that in the description of the show.
That's a fact. If you don't know yourself, who you are, what you like, what you don't like, so on and so forth, you're always gonna choose the wrong person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you really have to get to know yourself before you can you have to love yourself before you can have someone love you.
Right. And how
thank you, Erica. And that's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah,
Trust me, that's very hard. I went through a complete dark stage learning that lesson.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I for 2-3 years I shuttered myself to do that, to work on me. You know, it's no one's business. People be like, oh, this, that. And I'm like,
never settle, correct.
I'm working on me. Because
Right.
I know I'm not perfect and I can be difficult. And I was like, I'm
You
never going to
think
be able to be
you
happy
difficult?
with anyone unless I work on me.
Right.
And I'm still working on me. That's always a process. And I don't X out marriage. I joke about it. It would be a great thing. But like I mentioned before, marriage, for me to see marriage, I have to see a person and know that I'm going to become, and we're going to become better versions of ourselves together.
Right. Exactly.
If I don't see that, it's not happening, because nothing is forever. You know what I'm saying? Love is the highest form of understanding.
Right.
It's not a 4-letter word. It's not lust. People confuse, physicality and this. That is the highest form of understanding. Unconditional is close. I've been loved unconditional, but the highest understanding, that's hard to find.
Correct.
That's very hard to find. And I, to this day, have, to find someone to be like, yes, I can see becoming a better person together, us growing.
Right.
That's something at the highest level.
Right, exactly.
And then I'll do it, I guess. I don't know. My mother has a check put aside.
Listen, the day
to
Carmelo
pay for a
gets
wedding.
married, I'm going to officiate. So whatever girl out there married, just know that Nina Rock is going to be the one to marry them. I'm just
good
saying.
luck, because you can swear having a golden cape coming out your pussy. You can say this, that, and the third. That it takes.
Yeah, but sex is not the only thing.
Right,
it's a major part of a relationship. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
it's a major part, but it's not the whole part.
No, it's not.
It's not the whole part.
I mentioned that now as just a point, but
right.
To me, backing me in anything that I go for, it's a major plus. And definitely my kids.
Of course, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If you was to ever come around my kids and how you react and how you act with them, it's a big plus.
Correct.
But you can't just jump out the window and think that that's going to happen.
Exactly, because it doesn't happen. And I use myself as an example. I don't bring nobody around my kids. You know what I'm saying?
And there's nothing.
Bring nobody around my
wrong.
kids.
I mean, those that do that, that's on you. That's a slippery slope. Especially how people are. People don't got no standards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch who you bring your kids around.
Yeah.
But, all of this is...
So let's talk about this. So these are some of the things that after...
Well, this is relationship. This is once you ignore the red flags. And I'm known for that because I got horrible taste in women. I got 3 kids from 3 different women. You know what I'm saying? I have all my kids, though. The problem
is you're focusing on a fat ass. That's why.
No, not even that. Nah. It's just, shit happens. None of them were mistakes. Been together for a while. No, I'm saying mistakes. Been in a relationship for a while and then...
But still for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Know that now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lesson you learn after.
Exactly.
Well, then that's the reason why
you was ignoring all the red flags.
Is a wrap.
Yeah.
Well, some red flags won't come to after because people are very good at hiding.
Right.
And you're never gonna get to know someone if you're dating someone and you're not with them more than twice a week. Even at that rate, it's gonna take you forever to know who they are. Even if you live with a person, it takes about like 2-3 years for someone to let their guard down and you actually know who the fuck they are. Because just look at all the people fronting on social media.
So what if somebody did that from day one? Like, I'm just asking, what if somebody was just like 100% real and didn't give a shit from day one?
Real in what sense?
Like in because like, okay, so when you first meet somebody and you go out on a date, they ask you on a date or whatever, for the most part you front, like you said, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna eat the steak, I'm just gonna eat the salad, whatever. I'm just using using that as I'm just using that as an example. Or they don't want to say certain things because they not to disagree with you, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. They're more reserved because they want to that potential relationship type thing, you know what I'm saying? And then there's other people, myself, because I don't give two fucks, right? That I'm just straight with them. Like, no, that makes no sense. Like, I'm going to tell you straight from the beginning and be like, it's time to go home now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've done that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've gone out and the person can say one wrong thing that I just did not like. And I'm like, yeah, it's time to go home now. See ya. And I don't give a fuck.
That's the best way to be, because at the end of the day, because you're gonna get treated how you show me you want to be treated.
Right. You get what you allow.
You're gonna set the pace.
Right.
So if you two,
and I'm an asshole, that.
You have to be.
I'm a capital A on my motherfucking chest. I'm a straight asshole. I don't
people
care.
Say my mouth is reckless. I'm like, it's not the point. It's reckless. You used to people yesing you.
Sugarcoating.
And yesing you. Like with my friends, I got friends and all of that they value my opinion for the simple fact that when they ask me something, I'm gonna keep it 100. If let's say, look, shout out to my boys from Straight 16. I forgot.
Shout out to Straight 16.
Yeah, I totally forgot to shout out Diablo. Off topic, I want to shout out Diablo because he hit me up, and offered some services.
Diablo?
Yeah, definitely shout out to him. But like in that manner, like my boys from Straight 16, they value my opinion because I'm not yesing it. If this shit is whack,
oh, trust
I'm not
me.
gonna co-sign it
Trust
just
me.
because you my boy.
Trust me. You know how many calls I get on a daily basis on just that?
Right.
And I'm like, well, you knew, blah blah blah. And then then I get the fuck you and and I'm like, are you mad at me because I'm telling you the truth? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I take the same road when it comes when people ask me about relationships or they trying to act a certain way. People be like, oh, you're just this and that, and you making people feel uncomfortable, and I'm like, I make you feel uncomfortable
because I'm saying the truth.
Because I'm not one easy to get over on bullshit. I don't entertain bullshit.
Right.
So now I'm a problem for you because you can't hit me with that bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So my cousin Erica says, this is my cousin, by the way. Mm-hmm. My cousin is a total asshole. With love, I say it.
Yeah,
she knows.
Let
me tell you, woo, child, I'm an asshole. She knows it.
To those who can't
she just
handle,
laughs.
who would rather not hear
I
the
say
truth.
it about myself. I'm a capital A on my motherfucking chest.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an ostentatious.
I'm gonna need a shirt that says capital A on my motherfucking chest.
And it's best to be like that. You know how many times me being like that has gotten me out of Wachincha so many times.
Of course,
my friend had come up to me and she'd be like, oh, someone said this and that, and they mentioned the name, and I told them I knew it wasn't true because you really don't give a fuck about what anybody else is doing, and they try to put your name in it. And I was like, yeah, I didn't even hear it, and you're right, I really don't give a fuck.
Exactly, I get that too.
Come to me.
That's not so her because she's not even like that. She gonna come and tell you straight up. Exactly.
And so with relationships, I don't do them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've dated maybe 3 times in my entire life, and I'm fucking 45.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I'm saying? And I don't do that shit. I don't entertain that shit. And, I choose to go out with dancers or bartenders and shit like that because it falls on the same level as me. People ask, they know what they want, and I know what I want.
Right, they're emotionally detached.
Right,
so
exactly.
It is what it is.
Right, exactly.
But it goes back to what I told you before.
It's a short-term solution for a long-term problem.
No, but it goes back to what I told you before. And you could say whatever you want, but it's more of a fear of getting of that connection because you don't some other shit to go down. Yes, you do. Subconsciously, you do because you don't want to fall in love with somebody and have that love and then have that love taken away from you. Oh. You don't want that.
Nah, I'm not worried about that.
Yes, you are.
Nah.
Subconsciously, you are.
Nah.
Sure, you are. We could argue back and forth.
I'm dead serious. How you gonna tell me?
Because I know.
To it. It's funny that you say that because today is her birthday.
It's true. See, look at that. Happy birthday.
Today's Joanne's birthday. But Joanne was my best friend.
I know, but you had
You know
love
what
for
I'm
her.
saying? Yeah, of course. We were in love with each other, of course.
Correct.
Everyone knows
and you
that.
dropped the ball on it, and I tell you that all the time.
No, that we, that one was out of my hands. That one was out of my hands. So, she passed, but there was, I would say, I don't compare, but I know I would never have that again.
Correct. And you'll never, right, and she is irreplaceable, and you'll never have that.
So I don't look for that in a relationship.
No. But you're not gonna. But the point I'm trying to make is you're not looking for any of it, and it's because you've shut off that part of your heart.
Because
you shut off that part of your heart.
When she left deserves, so did my heart. But
exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. That's exactly what I just said.
That was a lot of years.
I understand that.
From children.
I understand that.
To adults.
I understand that.
So I would never.
I understand.
You can never get that.
Correct.
Even if I do that now, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna invest 15 years.
But you're only 45.
I'm not investing 15 years to get to know someone and all that. Are you kidding me?
But that's what I'm saying, because you're shutting it off. That's what I'm saying.
I know that. No one denies that.
But you just said
it ain't the fear.
Sure,
it ain't the fear of that, because I know I would never get that. I don't.
But the thing is that you can't. I don't
strive to get the same thing.
You're never gonna have. You're never gonna have the same. You're never gonna have the same that you have with her. That's 100%. But that doesn't mean you can't have something else, maybe similar with someone. You know what I mean? But with someone else, but you shut it off completely. You're like,
because
no, I'm not having it.
Investment.
Exactly. But it's not so much of being an investment. Subconsciously, you're afraid of it.
Nah. I just don't want to waste the time.
Right. But I would say, subconsciously, it is my opinion.
I know that. I've laid down and thought of so many scenarios. My aunt always tells me, she was like, you're never gonna find someone, and you're always gonna.
But the more shut off you are,
people, because you're trying to compare, and I'm like, I never compare, because she was a best friend. We weren't physical.
I know, but you loved her. You were in love with her. She was in love with you. Yeah, exactly. So Erica says you can't have the same, but you can find it. Exactly. You can find something similar to that effect.
I know that, because I would never, in anything that I do,
exactly.
In my other lifestyle, and I have certain experiences with certain people. And I always say, I'm like, okay, no, but we can't use this terminology. We can't do that, because I had that experience with someone else.
Right.
And then that's demeaning to our scenario, because now I'm using the same terminology that I use with someone else.
Right.
So how would you know that I'm not thinking of that other person, because we're using the same name? So
that's true, but I know what you're talking about. But at the same token, that person doesn't know what you were talking about with the other person. But I know.
Right. See, that's what
I'm saying. Then that's you.
It's a level of integrity with me.
Right.
That I would never do that. So when it comes to relationships, I know I would never have that, and I would never try to get something similar, because what I had with her. But what I'm saying
is not that you would try to get it, but it can actually happen. It may find you. You don't know that.
Well, good luck. That'd be awesome.
At the end of the day, you don't look for love. Love finds you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told people.
You know what I mean?
Get mad and say, I'm not looking. I'm not planning. I'm not looking. I'm not. Oh yeah. I don't give a flying rat's ass.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know
hey Willie, thanks for watching. Exactly. So you don't go looking for love. Love finds you, and you'll be surprised. It may find you in the most instamatic way, even though you don't believe in that.
Instamatic?
Instamatic.
I believe that. I've had stories that crazy shit jump out the window from first time seeing someone. I don't believe that there's a book and there's a time frame for love. That the heart wants what the heart wants.
Right.
Something happens, whether there's a connection physically, spiritually, mentally, sapiosexual, whatever, it can happen.
So Erica says it's hard, but when it's time, you won't be able to hide it. Exactly. You won't be able to hide from it. And that's the whole point, the point I'm trying to make, is that you can deny yourself all you want, but when that time comes, it's going to hit you and you're going to be like, what the fuck just happened? I'm just saying.
It before, I had a relationship, I guess you would say, with someone.
You had a situationship?
That's exactly what the fuck it was. It started off in one manner, then it escalated to something else. It was like 2 years. She was involved with someone else, and you could say we were seeing each other.
Right. So it could never be serious if she was seeing somebody else. So it's irrelevant.
But we was together a lot, and there was a lot of feelings involved, and I felt a connection to an extent that I cut everybody else off. Like, okay, I ain't fucking around with you no more. I ain't fucking around with you no more, because I want to see where this goes.
But she has somebody.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. It was me. Again, you see, it's two. You can do what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying for me, I'm gonna see where this goes, and if I'm entertaining this and I'm entertaining that, I don't know where this is gonna go.
At the end of the day, I had to put my glasses on because I can't read all these comments that we're getting. At the end of the day, like I said the other day, I'm single until otherwise notified. So I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't give a fuck what anybody got to say. Now, mind you, this is where it comes into place because I don't fuck around. So that's the issue. That's my issue. But you know, it is what it is.
Yep. So now, if you ignore these, once you ignore the red flags, all of this comes into play. But this is in the hood. This is common.
Well,
in the hood, you take the
we're gonna skip the healthy relationship part because if you ignored all the red flags, you're never gonna have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, you're never gonna have
That's
equality,
number one.
honesty, physical safety, respect, comfort, sexual respectfulness. I don't even know what that is.
That's never force.
Yeah,
you know,
rape.
don't force.
No is no. Independence and humor. I'm big on that. Independence.
Yes.
I am big on that. I am big on. Don't rely on me. I
tell
can
me
die.
what the fuck to do.
I could die flying here, going there, and then what you gonna do? I'm gonna take care of what I gotta take care of in the household, but always be able that you can do shit on your own if I'm not here.
Right.
This dependence, that is a form of domestic violence.
That was the healthy relationship part. Now go to the unhealthy relationship part. So you've ignored all the red flags, and now you're in this unhealthy relationship, and let's talk about it. What do you got there?
Control. But that's in the hood.
Well, you know, in some certain instances, control is okay.
But in the hood, that's in the hood. I remember growing up as a teenager. All the dudes always try to exercise that. Oh, come here. She knows she can't go there. She got to do what I say. Everyone has been in that.
Exactly.
You can't lie.
Yeah.
Everyone has been in that shit.
My ex was straight like that.
Yeah, you can't go here.
You know what's funny is that he would even tell other girls, even though if he wasn't like cheating or anything, if he was standing on the street corner, we're talking 90s, okay? If he was standing on the street corner, he knew I was coming out of work, and there would be girls there, random girls, not even girls that he was talking to. He'd be like, yo, you gotta go. And they'd be like, why? It's like, my girl's coming, and she catch you here, she gonna fuck you up. So go over there. Yeah. And he'd be like, I don't want to hear no shit. Get the fuck out of here. And he would literally, they don't have nothing to do with him. He'd be like, get the fuck out of here. And I've done it, and I've rolled up and grabbed bitches through the fucking neck. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But that was back in the day because, you know, yes.
That would be considered toxic, the control, but everybody has gone it.
Right. We were young, you know.
Dishonesty. That's my homeboy. This nigga lies. Bro, I'm not saying no names, but my niggas listening.
He's blowing up spots over here.
Who I'm talking about.
But
one partner keeps information from another.
But
one partner steals from another.
But dishonesty,
that's not dishonesty. Stealing, that's a beatdown.
That's still dishonesty, though.
Stealing?
Because you're trusting this person, and now they fucking betrayed you, and you freaking.
But that
that goes into what I was telling you before. You're keeping your personal life away. That's dishonesty.
But that's not. I'm not lying. I'm just.
Right, but it says one partner lies or keeps information from the other.
What information am I keeping? I don't keep information.
Where the fuck you live? That's information.
I don't know what is it with the whole fucking world that want to know where I live.
Listen, I don't give a fuck where you live. I don't care.
No, I'm
saying
it.
I'm not fucking you neither. So there's two different things.
20 other people that I talk to and always be like, oh, but where do you live? Orlando. Where in Orlando?
But that's different.
Nigga,
You don't gotta.
I don't even live in Orlando.
I know, but what I'm saying is you're not sleeping with those people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But when you opening up that part of a relationship,
well, if that's a major, I'm never going to be in a relationship.
Exactly.
And I came to terms with it because ain't nobody fucking come to my house.
Right, but it's not about going to your house. It's opening up that world, that part of your life to somebody.
I'm going to have to go get an apartment.
Just saying.
And just furnish it, and then where do you live? Right here. Here's the address. I'm gonna fucking put it on Google. Everybody, I'm on Google Maps. Turk lives here.
There you go.
So everybody can be fucking happy.
It's not about being happy. It's about, you know, like I said, you're keeping a part of your life away from your partner.
No,
you're not.
Everybody falls into this culture that you gotta fucking put live that you're picking your nose. One bitch put on live.
That don't have nothing to do with that.
She went to the gynecologist.
Does she have an STD?
That's what I commented a week later. I was like, yo, you got them results? You put a picture that you was at the GYN and that bitches don't be doing this.
But that's different.
So then
but,
I was like, is it safe?
Okay, but
And
that's
the fucking
different.
rule.
That's different if you're talking about posting stuff on social media. There's a difference between posting
What
stuff.
that falls into, because everybody's so open with all this information.
No.
Oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm taking here, I'm eating here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
But that has nothing to do with relationships. This you're misleading it.
Well, no, it all goes into one. I keep
No, it
everything
doesn't.
private. I don't put all my daughter's accomplishments online.
You don't have
I
to.
don't put
But
my
that's you.
accomplishments online.
But
Right.
that's you.
And
Right.
people think it's weird.
No, it's not weird. I know a lot of people who don't do that.
Intimidation.
Anyway, go ahead.
One partner tries
Wait,
to control everything.
you skip
Disrespect.
physical abuse and disrespect.
Well, physical abuse is a given.
It's still an unhealthy relationship, but I think people should know about it because some people think, oh, well, it's just I aggravate him. I don't give a fuck
That's
what
not an
you do.
excuse, yeah.
But people use that as an
Right.
excuse.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I hear it, and I'm like, are you serious right now? It doesn't matter what you do. What matters is that person put their goddamn hands on you. That's what matters.
And if they do it once, they're
They're
gonna
keep doing it.
Right.
Exactly. So, continue.
Disrespect.
Unhealthy relationship.
Disrespect. One partner makes fun of the opinions and interests of another partner. Now, I'm a funny ass dude and I'm very sarcastic.
My husband says why everything has to be on Facebook. Shout out to Theo Allen. Yeah, I don't post everything I post a lot on Facebook, but not
Listen,
everything. But
Linda.
but there's a difference between me and you.
Yeah, well, I guess you're in the media.
Exactly.
So
The big difference between me and you.
I can't fucking.
You know what I'm saying?
I was there 20 minutes
Between-
trying to figure out. I don't even think my live is on.
Between
Because I don't even know. Listen,
between my jobs and the things that I do, I have to be on social media. But I still don't post everything.
Yeah.
A lot of things I don't post.
Okay, intimidation.
I don't need to know.
Control every aspect of another's life. Well, that goes with the control. This is bad. One partner may attempt to keep his or her partner from friends and family. That or threaten to break up. That's common.
Right, and a lot of people do that, and that's unhealthy.
Women do that a lot.
Yeah, and that's
Women
unhealthy.
do that a lot. Okay, you going out with me, you gotta. My youngest daughter, mother was like that. She's living with me, we moved to Florida. I'm supposed to now shut off the whole world. Granted, I know a lot of females.
But a lot of guys do that to their girls. They don't want, and the reason, let me put this out there.
That's immature.
A lot of guys, no, it's not even immature. It's because the family knows you're full of shit. Not
No,
you.
I'm not talking about the family.
Not
I'm
you.
talking about the keeping them away from friends.
Exact friends and family.
Friends and family.
Because most of the time, if you got a friend like me that's gonna tell you straight up, like, yo, this dude is not the fucking one for you. What the fuck are you doing? Most of the time, they're gonna be like, don't hang out with that bitch Nina.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know that
outside
I'm gonna come straight and tell my friend and look out for my friend or my family, whatever it is.
So
you
now,
know what I'm
how
saying?
would that person see? Now, this is where I say it's iffy. Outside opinion sometimes has an agenda.
Correct.
So you have
Correct.
to.
I
You
can
really
agree.
got to be on your
It
point. So
depends.
if I come to you and I tell you, yeah, that guy's no good, this, and that. I could have a personal agenda. I could be like, maybe I just don't like him. Maybe he did something to me.
Right.
Or maybe I like you. See what I'm saying? So you definitely have to make sure
That's
where
different.
you're getting. Now, if
Exactly.
it's family,
That's different.
If it's family, even if it's family, you still, if someone's coming to you, okay, that person, they got to have a really good reason and credible.
Hey, Janita, thanks for watching.
Why they don't want you around that person, or to be involved with that person.
Right, but sometimes,
You know what I'm saying? So-
sometimes an outside person can see more than the person that's in the relationship.
Right.
So
But you
they may
still
not
gotta
see.
weed out.
They may not see the intimidation factor if you're in the relationship, but an outside party is going to be like, hold
But
up,
you
that's
still gotta
not.
be on, all I'm
That's
just
not
saying that you
cool.
always
You know what
gotta
I
be
mean?
on point. You know
Thanks
what
for
I'm
the
saying?
love. Exactly. Thanks for the love. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jacksonville.
But on the other end, now we're not talking about the partner. We're talking about
Family.
the partner telling the other one, oh, you got to cut off friends. Like I was saying, my daughter's mother was like that. She wanted me to cut off friends that I knew for 15 years because they were females. And I'm like, I'm 1,400 miles away.
Well, that falls under insecurity.
Insecurities, right? So I'm like, that's childish. You think nothing lasts forever. So now I cut off my friends. I can't do much. I mean, I will go to New York on the regular,
Thanks for
but
the love.
if I don't talk to them and say hi and keep up, I shut them out for 10 years. We
Right.
break up. I'm gonna knock on their door after 10 years, like, hey, I'm
Like,
back.
hey,
I
I'm
know
back.
friends are like that.
And
I know
there's
some
people
are
who
like
do that. Exactly. There's people who do that.
I'm not for that. I'm not cutting nobody off.
Right.
You have to deal with it.
But there's a certain
got
level.
open arms.
But there's
They
a
wanna know who
certain
you
level.
are.
There's a certain level of respect that comes with it. I have a lot of guy friends, and I don't like a lot of their girlfriends because I see them as fucking groupie bitches.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story, right? So I get that, you know, sometimes I can't hang out with my bestie or I can't hang out with my guy friends once they get girlfriends because I'm cute, I'm pretty, and the girl's gonna, no matter what, she can be the flyest chick in there. She's still gonna have feel some type of way about me because I'm not ugly. I'm not an ugly chick.
Women are like
I'm
that.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm not an ugly chick. So you know, I don't want him. He's my boy. You know, so to speak. You know what I mean? And sometimes I can see things that they don't see because I don't say nothing. Most of the time, I just keep my mouth shut. But he picks up the phone and calls me. I'm gonna pick up because that's my boy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I understand we have a level of respect, and I will respect his relationship. You know what I mean? Because he's in that, not me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, listen, my bestie, and Janita knows, you remember this, my bestie is a guy, right? And he was dating this girl. I couldn't stand this bitch. Like, you don't even understand. I couldn't stand this bitch. And I always wanted to say something to her because I knew she was grimy from day one. But I held it and I kept it because I'm like, if I say something, they're going to think I'm hating. They're going to think this and that, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So I kept it. This bitch, she want to turn around one day and she's like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I hear we're like da 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 da. And I said, listen, and that's my best friend. And if you do something to him, I'm going to fuck you up. Just like that, I swear to God, in the club. And then my other boy was like, you told him that? Yes, the fuck I did tell her that because I already knew that she was grimy. You know exactly who I'm talking about, Janita, too.
Yeah, no names.
Yeah, she knows. Now she knows who I'm talking about. They're not together anymore, neither, because of grimy shit, which I knew was gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Situation like that happened with me.
But I never said nothing to him. I told him after the fact all the shit that I knew about her. You know what I'm saying?
I seen some funny shit in a group gathering with a bunch of friends. Something bugged out, and before I even got a chance, because this person we talk, but their schedule is different, you know, from their work schedule. Mm-hmm. And by the time I was able to pick up the phone to try to talk about it, be like, hey, you know, are you getting serious with this person? Because I seen some funny shit that night that we was all out. They got married.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, you know,
did they file the certificate in the court of law?
They did a wedding,
oh my
big, like, you know, I wish them all the best. But I got to tell my other homegirl that night because we live in the same area. Yeah. So I was like, yo, I saw some funny shit, this and that.
What I've learned is I don't interfere with people's relationships. I let them be. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be there at the end when shit fails. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've learned. Because what happens is you try to tell somebody about their partner, and I've had this experience before, you know, caught somebody cheating on, you know, somebody that I knew, and I told them, and they got mad at me. You mad at me? They're cheating on you. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up staying together, and it was, you know, not drama, but they, you know, oh, you can't come here, da 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 da. You know, it was like a whole big shit. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm like, I'm looking out for you. This was years ago. So now I just don't say shit. I just let it go, but I'm a watch. You know what I'm saying? As much as I can. So you can't really butt into people's relationships, but
I didn't even get to say anything. But I noticed something, and then they're married. I'm like, shit.
Okay. So moving forward, what's the next one?
Sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse. Unhealthy relationships.
One partner pressures or forces that's a crime all day.
Exactly.
Fuck a flag.
Exactly.
That's a crime. Mm-hmm. Next, dependence. This is. Well, a lot of people are looking for heroes. A lot of girls are looking for a savior, a super fucking hero. You know what I'm saying? To come and save them and rescue them from the fucking come up.
Tower. Or a come up, exactly. Or a come up. But a come up is different because, you know, they're expecting that. But a lot of people,
when you get caught in the dependence part, it's hard for you to leave.
Correct.
I know so many friends that, you know, get caught up in shit, have kids, and then, you know, this happens in the hood. Mm-hmm. Dead ass. You have a baby with a drug dealer, and he already have kids with someone else.
First mistake.
You already,
Just saying.
Because at the end of the day,
keep going.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? they get locked up, it's a wrap.
Exactly. Now you have nothing to show, nothing to do. Now you gotta fucking try to figure it out. And what happens most of the time, they get with another drug dealer to help take care of them. And that's but that becomes part of a red flag that you should have noticed from the beginning, because obviously that person did not have their shit together and was looking for someone to take care of them, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So what's next?
Hostility. One partner may walk on eggshells to avoid upsetting the other. That's super common.
Yeah, and that also goes to the beginning of red flags, because again, what I talked about earlier before, you get afraid to say certain things. And I don't want to say afraid. It's not a fear. It's like, well, let me just be quiet because, it's early on in the relationship. It's early on. I just met this person. I really don't want him to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then that just continues throughout the whole thing. Where if you would have just been straight up from the beginning, like, no,
That's a big red flag for me
like
too,
that.
that I mentioned.
Exactly.
If I can't be myself.
Exactly.
If you can't be, that's the main thing with everyone. If you can't be yourself, if you gotta hide that you like to dance, and when you go out, whether you drink wine or whatever, and you drink and you like to get tipsy and have fun or whatever it is that you do, if you can't do that in front of your partner,
right,
and
it's not the right partner.
It's not the right partner, because then you always gotta hide that, and then it's always a problem. Like I always go to this reference. Everybody loves Raymond. He has to lie that he's going golfing on a Sunday. Now, mind you, he's not a deadbeat husband. Got the house in Long Island, takes care of the kids. He's a columnist.
Right.
Sports writer. So now,
hey Marcy, thanks for watching.
He's taking care of his household.
Right.
Why does he have to lie?
Hold on,
that he's going to play golf?
That episode was not really so much of him hiding who he was or the fact that he was going to play golf. It was because he was supposed to do something with the wife. Don't twist the story.
He's still hiding.
Twist the
every
story.
week he gotta hide that he goes golfing.
Right,
and
but that's because
our mother used to do it too. Buy golf clubs and hide them. Like I see shit like this. I'm like, if I gotta do that in my own house, if I gotta lie, I'm fucking going to play golf. Mm-hmm. We good. We living. Exactly. I'm taking care of the kids and all. I can't go play golf. It's golf. Nobody even wants to do that shit.
Well, Raymond wanted to do it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just then it gets to that point, and they, in a comedic way, they're like, and I'm like, that shit is not funny.
Yeah.
That shit is not funny at all. That even if the woman, let's say the woman wants to go shopping on a Sunday or go here, there.
Well, a lot of women do that. They hide the bags that they spent. That the bags.
Well, maybe that falls under there because you took the credit card off the loan and you're supposed to do something else. That's a totally whole different.
My bad.
Different scenario. Like now we got no light.
I've gone plenty of shopping, but my shit was always paid. But I've done plenty of shopping without people knowing. I'm like, whoop.
Oh, fuck that.
But at the end of the day, most of the time I probably did it for myself anyway, with my own money, so it don't matter. Yep. Fuck it, I buy what the fuck I want.
So once you got all of these, it's definitely a wrap. Hopefully you can get away. Mm-hmm. Because the control, the dependence, and the walking on eggshells, that is common. And sadly to say, so is the physical abuse. That is all day,
but it shouldn't be common, unfortunately.
It shouldn't be, but then again, that falls on both. You don't blame the victim, but it's again, they always fall with that. That's to show that they care. Certain women be like, oh, his anger or his issue, or that's interest. That's showing that
no,
he
the
cares.
Fuck it's not. I know.
That's the common denominator. We all,
and he loves me because he pulled my hair and didn't want nobody looking at me.
Right,
no, bitch.
No,
that
falls
that's
under
not
the
it.
Esteem issue and how you feel about yourself.
Exactly.
So
to wrap this up, because we've kind of gone over time, but that's okay.
Yeah, my live went dead.
That's all right. I'm still live. So at the end of the day, we've been talking about red flags and ignoring them. If you ignore the red flags, you're going to end up in an unhealthy relationship. And a lot of things that we've talked about: control, dishonesty, physical abuse, disrespect, intimidation, sexual abuse, dependency, and hostility, those all fall under unhealthy relationships. Now, there's a whole other list of things that we can go ahead and talk about, but basically they all fall under the fact that you ignored the red flags in the beginning. So, lesson to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, because guys go through it too, you know what I'm saying? Do not ignore the red flags. Point them out and address them, whether you choose to address them to that person directly or take a look and say, yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Like
exactly. I'm not feeling that right now.
Do a comparison from other relationships, 2, 3, and then be like, okay, is there a pattern?
Right.
I'm going for this, you looking to fill a void, someone to fill something, and try to figure it out, and then see if maybe that's where the fault is coming in the relationship, and try to change it and stick to your guns. If it's a red flag, don't be like, okay, I don't want to be alone.
Well, maybe they'll change.
Right, you're not going to change
Maybe they're
no
not
one.
going to slap me anymore, and so on and so forth. The shit don't work.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, guys, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end with this. This is our He Says, She Says segment here. Supreme Clientele Radio with your girl, Nina, Rock and Carmelo. Shout out to everybody who's listening. Brooklyn in the check-in. We got Orlando in the check-in. Kissimmee in the check-in. Jacksonville, hey! At the end of the day, it's all about having a healthy relationship, okay? And one of the ways that I mentioned earlier on, and I'm going to end with it, know yourself. Know who you are. Know what you're about, your likes and your dislikes. Love yourself, and only then can someone love you. With that said, love, peace, and hair grease. Your girl, Nina Rock, is out. Everybody say bye-bye to Carmelo.
Bye-bye. Shout out to Straight 16 and Diablo.
There you go. Boom.